So what are we talking about today?
When it's the right time to release a relationship. Just in time for the full moon.
Yeah.
So we've all had folks who, for whatever reason, we've concluded there's friction here. Either we're not getting anything out of the relationship, it's taking too much from us, the person's constantly in a negative state, or they bring out the worst in us, and we come to the conclusion that it's time to let this go. Today we're discussing our unique methods for doing so.
Perfect. So I'll go first.
Please.
Because I've been on these dating apps for a while, and I date more than you two combined. So I think once you understand that there's disrespect, there's incompatibility, and which one of those has the resources to bring you down, to derail you from your source and who you are, at that point you have to make a decision, not out of what I need, but what I want. So if you want someone to be respectful, someone to be equally as loving and equally as giving to the relationship, great. You stick with them. But if someone is not your cup of tea, they've proven themselves over and over again to be not the right match for you, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, then you have to step away. And in my opinion, you step away and you tell them exactly why the reason is. You just don't ghost them. You just don't disappear on them. You tell them, this is a reason why we're not going to work out. And not only does that get the stuff off your chest, whatever's brewing, but also it gives them an opportunity to grow and learn from their mistakes or their way of being so that the next relationship doesn't suffer the same fate.
That's so kind.
Comes from a kind heart. Sure does. Sure does.
Oh, Kevin, would you like to go?
Why don't you go first?
You mean second?
Second?
Yeah, happy to do so. So my method is acknowledging this relationship's no longer serving me for some reason or another. If possible, when I reach that point, let me just get clear. By the time I reach that acknowledgement that this relationship isn't working, I've already tried it like 1,000 times. No rule of 3. Like just reflecting on my past as I look back on the relationships that have dissolved, I conclude that I had tried many a time to bring it to like, hey, what about this? What about that? What have you considered this? Have you considered that? Hey, maybe like hints. Well, do you really think that that's working for you? Or very direct, like, man, I really just don't think that person's for you. Or, you could really pick it up in this area or that. Once I come to the conclusion that it's over, I just start creating distance with love. No hard block, no F off, nothing like that. Just focusing on my own life. I take all the energy that I would invest in them and I just bring it back home. So if I was putting 20% in them, we bring it back home. 50%, bring it back. 80%, bring it back. And let the universe do its magical work. I trust that the greater forces are going to teach the lessons. Bring a little astrological spice into all of this. I'm a Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon, ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma, which means that I don't have to change anyone, do anything, force anything. I can just step back and let whatever lessons are meant to arise without me having to prod, poke, and force. So that's my method. And if they eventually circle back and they're like, Amanda, I miss you, I'll be like, hey, I miss you too. What's up? You want to talk? And if they're open to it and receptive on that circle back, I'll say, you know what? The reason I kind of step back is because X, Y, and Z. And then they're like, oh, shit.
So you would ghost them, in essence, and just pull back your energy and go do your own thing.
The definition of ghosting is to not respond to someone when they reach out. So it's not ghosting. It's creating distance, which means no rapid response. If I used to respond in 5 seconds, now I'll take a day. If I used to try to hit them up all the time and make something happen, now I'll let them initiate.
Now, are you in a relationship or just dating this person?
We didn't create a hypothetical. This is just like a general.
Well, now I'm asking if you had to do...
Tell me each one.
So if you were in a long-term relationship with like someone for 2 years.
I've never been in a long-term relationship where it got to the point that I needed to just abruptly break it off because there's so much communication up until that point. So the way my relationships have ended have been with conversations. Like, you already know this is where it was headed. This is what's happening. Like, we've already talked about this probably 10 times before. This is what's happening.
But for dating, someone that's just dating for like 3-4 times, you would just pull back your energy.
No, I said right up front. So the best example I have of this that just comes to my mind is a blind date that I went on, a setup from my parents' friends set me up with someone. And this was like 3 years ago. And immediately I knew it wasn't going to work out. And I just said right up front, hey, I'm not feeling it. Let's just stay friends or whatever. They ghosted me immediately. I don't think they even responded to that message. But I let them know right up front.
Good. So you have a kind heart just like I do.
I think yours might be kinder.
Yeah, I love it. But I believe that every case is unique. And there's no broad brush to create rules here. It depends. If you meet somebody after 2 days, you don't want to talk to them, like my smart and kind brother would say. You tell them the reasons why you're detaching and you say goodbye. Now, if you've been with this person for 25 years and you don't like things, the way things are going, you obviously don't, just say, hey, I'm out of here. You try to fix what's fixable, salvage what's salvageable. And if that doesn't work, then you create the means to exit. Exit strategy.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You have a kind heart too, I conclude.
I don't want to, if somebody's not nice to me, I won't be nice back, but I won't be vicious. Typically, relationships are built on love and care, so you have to do the kind thing.
Yeah.
Give them opportunity to change or try to fix things. If that doesn't work, then goodbye nicely.
Even platonic relationships in an ideal world are built on love and care.
Correct.
I guess everyone just has a different version of what love and care means.
Mm-hmm.
For me, love and care for self always rises to the top.
Let's say you don't see eye to eye with a parent.
Yeah.
And you really hate each other.
Oh.
And I don't think that kind of relationship can still be thrown out in the garbage can. A part of you still is connected. So at the end of the day, I think the easiest way to say goodbye to somebody is the person you're dating for, 1 or 2 times. You can easily say goodbye and or ghost them. But once you start building roots, then you got to take a kinder path.
Well, if you really hate your parent, maybe there needs to be some more digging around. Because look, coming from a self-love perspective, if I discovered that I suddenly or just really hated anyone in my life, my first question would be like, why? What has happened in the relationship? Why do I feel that way? Why am I triggered that way? Like what's at the root of it, and go deeper.
Yeah, there should be a lot of therapy before you get to the trash can.
Yeah, in that instance,
Yeah.
like with a parent, yes. Unless they're obviously abusive or like there's been
Sure.
some...
And that's why it's a case by case.
C by C, CBC we call it.
CBC.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all solution. I think every person in our lives brings out a different aspect of us. They are a mirror of a different archetype within us. Our mother is a mirror to the feminine in us. Our father is a mirror to the masculine in us. So those mirrors might require different treatments because of what they're stirring inside of us. Our partner mirrors different thing in us. Our sibling mirrors different thing in us. So how can we just paint it with a broad brush and say we just apply one approach to every? We can't.
Yeah, my philosophy has become to my daughter is to read the room.
RTR.
Thank you. Read the room.
Yeah.
You got to know who you're dealing with, who's in front of you, and based on that, you change your strategy.
That's very intelligent. Weigh in.
If you have issues with a significant other, obviously you're right. You should have explained and talked about certain things prior to that point of no return. And so they know. They know why it happened. They're not dumb. However, if you're dealing with a egotistical narcissist who doesn't understand their actions are leading up to this, and they always thought your warnings or the red flags coming up were all just part of a grand show with no consequences, then you have to exit stage left without any more explaining to do. So if you see someone's disrespecting you, someone is pulling away, someone is not willing to work on something and keeps you as an option, you don't owe them an explanation anymore at that point. when I say that you need to give someone an explanation, is someone that's actually invested in you, invested in the relationship, and you owe it to them to tell them what's going on, even though you may have said it 100 times before. As an exit interview, you tell them what's going on and, leave it at that. But if someone is just toxic, they don't want to deal with you or deal with themselves or what's going on with their life, and they just ghost you, just ghost them back and just walk away. I think the best thing for me is when someone disrespects me, I take that disrespect and I turn it into fuel to push myself higher and better and do better in life in other areas. So that's why I'm sitting here with all these muscles bulging out of my t-shirt, because the fuel that I get from that, it's extraordinary. There has to be a rule or a method. Whereas the longer you're with somebody, whatever kind of relationship, friends, lovers, siblings, the less you're with them, the less you owe an explanation, in my opinion. Like you see somebody once and then you don't want to be with them anymore. You don't write a 6-page letter explaining why. However, if you're with somebody for 10 years and you're leaving, then you owe more of an explanation, or at least try to fix and then explain and then leave. So I don't think you treat everybody the same, like we've talked about. I don't think there has to be a correlation between the length of time and how you want to exit. Because you could have a very passionate, very loving relationship with someone for 3 months before they pass away and go to the, heavens. Or you can have a very good relationship with someone before you pack up your bags and move to another country for work or whatever. It doesn't mean you don't owe them an explanation or you cannot express your love and why you have to do this. Just because it was 3 months, 3 days or whatever, doesn't give you any right of way to walk away without any explanation, in my opinion. But the quality of relationship changes with time. Not really, because if you're with someone for a day, but you can have the most intimate, most loving time with someone for a week. Let's say you go on vacation, you meet someone, and they're the love of your life, and then come home to your husband or wife who've been just dead weight for the past 25 years, and you hate each other. There has to be some kind of another way to gauge love or that bond was just time.
That's why I think the case-by-case basis is so precious.
Thank you. I'll go back to that.
Because as I reflect, I've had friendships and relationships that have expired sometime before their official expiration date, and both people know. Like you said, dead weight. It's like, this shit be dead.
Yeah.
And anything we owed one another, we already paid off 2 years ago. Yeah. Now we're just, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're just I don't know, we're here. So I'm with you on you can't correlate time to intensity. You can't correlate time to meaning. There's some value to it, but it is case by case. It's got to be.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I've known a couple that were together for 44, 45 years, and the breakup was one day he's gone, and that's it. And there was no Dear John letter, nothing. Just
no DJL?
Gone. No DJL. I was gone. And so you can't say 45 years of marriage didn't mean anything.
No.
He just walked away.
Yeah.
He just had enough. At what point do you have to just cut your losses and walk away? Boom. And you don't need an explanation because you've probably explained this to them many times throughout the 45 years.
Correct.
And just because they're just
took up space. Yeah. Just because they're in your space. Yeah.
Not blindsided or vice versa.
So brilliant idea there.
I mean, that's in my book. If you guys want to read my book,
we
The
do.
Dark Side of the Enlightened Mind.
I've actually been wanting to read it for a while.
Good. It's going to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Listen, when you have a vision, when you have a story to tell, sometimes it's better to step back a couple of years and reevaluate the characters and the roles they played. And I'm glad I waited a little bit longer than I should have, because then you see the bigger picture and then you give yourself a little bit more grace. You give them a little bit more grace. And you come out with a conversation that is more productive than anything else.
Boy, I've read it. I've read parts of it, actually, and boy.
It's brilliant.
Which camera's on me?
Go for that one.
You guys need to get this one. You guys need to get it.
Jeff, is it
Is it that one,
That one.
Jeff?
Jeff, yeah.
Tony, you agree? Okay.
Yeah, they say it's that one.
Guys, you need to get this book. It changed my life. Changed the way I look at things. And when you change the way you look at things you look at change.
What? Say that again. Because I really want people in the back to hear it.
Wait, am I on?
You've been
Okay.
on, yeah.
I think everybody should read
Triple
it
shot
because
mindset.
it does change your perspective and you learn to look at things from different angles. So yeah, get it.
Get it.
Amazon. Is it on Amazon yet, Tony?
Not yet, it will be.
It will
Tony,
be. Well, let's go around the room and give it our final thoughts about this beautiful topic.
Great.
I think it's a case-by-case basis, obviously.
C by CB.
But I would like the exit interview to at least take place at one point to reiterate all the issues that were unresolved and why it's happening. And I think if the case may be that if it's a toxic person, a narcissistic person who continuously jabs and throws dirt in your face and disrespects you, at some point you're just going to quietly exit because having that conversation with them isn't going to do any good for anyone.
Mm.
So you just walk away. Obviously, I will send a text message that this is over. I've learned my lesson and I'm gone. But I don't give any more explanation to those kind of people because they already know. But for people who may be in a more loving place and they try to work on things and it's not working for me, I would have to have that exit conversation with them. As hard as it may be, as awkward as it may be, I believe in telling them to their face and leaving things from a friendly place versus an enemy or someone that just dumped you and left.
Ah, beautiful.
As always.
I'm also on the CBCB,
Yeah.
which is case by case basis. I concur with your conclusion, which is that it for me, it all comes from self-love. Like, what do I need in order to be the best person I can be? If it's space, I'll take space. If I really want them to know, because it's going to be obvious, I don't want to ghost, I'll send a message and say, hey, I'm stepping back for a while and here's why. No promises that I will or won't be back. But I never put it in their court like, you need to fix it. I always take full ownership. If I'm stepping back, it's because I need the space from your dysfunction. I'm not going to frame it that way. Like, fix your shit so that I can step back in. I don't need to control the person in that way.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Oh.
What if you tell someone you don't want to be with them anymore and they don't get it? At what point do you become a little more...
What do you mean they don't get it?
Let's say you...
I'm saying they don't need to get
Stalker.
Yeah,
A stalker.
I've had a few stalkers in my day. A stalker is different. You never explain anything to a stalker. You just block them and go away, disappear, change your number, do what you got to do. You know
Agreed.
what I mean?
Agreed. Let me go back to the cherry on top there for myself. I agree with both of you, and that says a lot about how big I am.
Yeah.
As I always say, read the room. I've said that before. Read the room. Read the room.
Yeah, RTR.
RTR. Every case is different. Every case is unique. And I think at the end of the day, every person deserves an explanation. It has to be a kind one, because I want to walk away with knowing that I didn't hurt somebody. I just, it wasn't there for me to pursue. So be kind about it. Let go when it's time. And, everybody's different. So pick your battles. Don't think this rule applies to this person, this rule applies to that person. You got to treat everybody as individuals.
Triple shot mindset.